Oh god, how are you still alive? Do not think this ends here. The history of light and shadow will be written in blood! Oh wow, did he actually lose the Triforce? The Triforce of Power, that is. Even though it's never really mentioned at all in the game, but... What? What? Okay then. Completely forgot about that, actually. I guess San was his lifeblood or something? I don't know. I thought we killed him off earlier. And Link's going to just tap him with his foot and he'll fall to the ground. Or he can just stand there. Whatever works. Is Ganon actually dead in this timeline, though? I'm kind of curious. Because it's not like they sail him away again. What is that sitting off? Hey! Is that who we think it is? Yeah, Zelda, nobody cares about you. You didn't appear to Tyria. Yeah. We barely saw you at all in the game. Why should we care about you? I can't talk today. I'm sorry, gentlemen. Oh, hey. Well, dang. I didn't know she was smoking hot. Well, that's one way to start off a conversation. Jeez. Am I so beautiful that you've no words left? Link the smiley face Joe smiles in amazement. And that, my friends, is the end of Twilight Princess. Thank the high heavens I got this all finished and edited. Woo! Man! I'm so glad this Let's Play is finally finished. I apologize, everyone, for how long it's taken me to actually sit down and finish this. Like, I went and did the Cave of Ordeals, and I don't remember if I've done a poll before this or not. Well, technically I haven't put up the poll yet at this time of recording. It's June of 2015 right now, so this will probably be uploaded within June, hopefully, if I can, you know, stay on this upload schedule, because I've pretty much gotten all these videos edited. But, yeah, I failed the Cave of Ordeals, essentially. And I guess since then, I didn't really get a chance to go back and, you know, finish this game, because I was originally wanting my sister to, like, come in and co-commentate with me, because I can't do girl voices well. So I guess I did my best. If I didn't, I'm sorry. I don't do female voices much. Though, I guess that's sort of hypocrisy in itself when you think about it, because, I did voice Midna at the beginning of the Let's Play, so there's that, I guess. But yeah, thank you everyone for all the people who have sat down and actually, you know, followed this Let's Play from beginning to end. For those of you who sticked around, even when I was, like, on hiatus, you know, with college, wrestling my jimmies, to the point of where I couldn't find time to edit these videos, congratulations, you're a true champion. You have a lot more patience than anyone could ever ask for, so I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So, whether I'll go back and actually finish the Cave of Ordeals or not, I don't know. I might decide in that poll whether or not I should do, like, a separate video series or actually just stream it all together and then upload it to YouTube or something. It's good lord. I made it to, like, I want to say 439, so I was almost done doing it. But anywho, let's talk about Twilight Princess. Enough about me. Let's talk about this good game. Man, my opinions of this game were definitely, like, I wouldn't say Twilight Princess was a bad game to me, but it definitely wasn't one of the games in the series that I revisited the most. And I'm taking mind that I'm a big Zelda nerd. Zelda is my favorite video game series of all time. And Twilight Princess just wasn't the game that I revisited a whole lot. Hey, Colin. And mostly because, well, the hand-holding, especially towards the beginning, good God, the beginning. Like, I had mentioned before, I hate the Twilight sections a lot. They bring the game down to an unreasonable pace that just doesn't fit my playstyle at all. The Wolf Link is fine, it's just... I get they were trying to do something new, because this is supposed to be like Ocarina of Time 2.0 or something, and, I guess they wanted to do something akin to the child-adult transformations from Ocarina of Time, so they went with the wolf, and needless to say, I'm mixed about it. Because most of the time I was adult Link anyway, because being a wolf, you didn't have too many tools at your disposal to begin with. Combat was pretty risky because you had to fight like super up close, and given the fact that you take double damage, it just really wasn't worth it unless you were doing puzzles, I guess. And I guess the extra mobility helps too, but you got an opponent for that. So yeah, the pace and the hand-holding is definitely something that turns me off from this game overall. And I guess you can say that in the theme of, being dark, because this is probably like the second darkest Zelda game, I will admit, this game tries a little too hard, and I think that's mostly the blame for, the art style. As, let's be honest here, the character designs just give freaking Wind Waker a run for the money in terms of goofiness. Like, what were they thinking? Like, seriously? If you're going to have a serious game, then you need to be serious. I mean, sure, you can have your jokes, but don't, like, stereotype your character designs that, like, fit that role, But, things that Twilight Princess does strong, though, and actually, let me add a few more cons. I had mentioned that I'm not fond of the underusage of items in the second half of the game. The second half of the game is definitely superior to the first half, mostly because the game opens up and, diverges away from the linearity that the first half did, restricting, your exploration, which, Zelda is supposed to be, I want to say exploration heavy, but you're supposed to be intrigued by the world, and when you're so cut off from it, in the beginning half of the game, it's like, it's hard to, like, garner the attention of, like, wanting to appreciate Hyrule for what it is. But man, the second half rolls around, you got everything open up to you, you got a lot of stuff to do, lots of side quests, lots of mini games, lots of character quests, almost, up to the potential of what Majora's Mask has, pretty much. There's a lot of stuff to do in Twilight Princess. But yeah, pros. The atmosphere in this game is great. I love the atmosphere of Twilight Princess. Never have I felt so engaged in a world like Twilight Princess, where I felt like I was actually in a desert. I felt like I was in a steaming hot mines, aka Goron Mines. Never have I felt, so chilled and creeped out by the dark recesses of, the Palace of Twilight. Also cutscene. Well, I guess this is farewell, huh? Light and shadow can't mix, as we all know, but never forget that there's another world bound to this one. Shadow and light are two sides of the same coin. One cannot exist within the or without the other, excuse me. I know now the reason the goddesses left the Mirror of Twilight in this world. They left it because it was their design that we should meet. Wouldn't destiny be the better word for that? I don't know. Yes, that is what I believe. Whatever you think, Zelda. Zelda, your words are kind and your heart is true. If all in Hyrule are like you, then maybe you'll do alright. Thank you. Well, the princess spoke truly. As long as that mirror's around, we could meet again. But... Link. Aww. I... See you later. And I guess we'll never see Midna again. Except for Hyrule Warriors, if that counts. I think it's pretty interesting how they take pride in, you know, that world, even though it's supposed to be like some kind of eternal prison. I really like that about the Twilight. Like, you definitely feel sympathy for that, you know. And never again was the Twilight Realm accessible by human hands. But anywho, getting back to the atmosphere. Yeah, the atmosphere is great, like I had mentioned. The dungeons, oh my word, the dungeons are so good. I would argue that they're amongst, like, some of the best within the series. Like, definitely, like, the top 5 best dungeons. Like, the only one I guess I didn't really care too much about was the Temple of Time. But places like, you know, the Forest Temple, the Arbiter's Grounds, City in the Sky, man, those were fantastic. Even in the combat wasn't, you know, heavy or anything. I definitely had a lot of fun, you know, exploring every nook and cranny, finding what little puzzle piece was left behind, the atmosphere. This game is definitely has the right atmosphere, I find. Strongest atmosphere in the series by far, even with Skyward Sword around. And you also got an amazing soundtrack. Soundtrack is really good. Midna's Lament, Hyrule Field, Faron Woods. I can go on and on and on. Fanboy all day, but alas, we're not here to do that. Well, I guess we are to an extent, but we only have so many of the credits left to see, so I might as well make this quick. Anywho, before we wrap this up, I need to talk about Ganon. I'm not too fond of his Twilight Princess appearance because I don't feel like he needed to be there. I feel like he was kind of a cash-in, like, decoy that simply needed to be here because Nintendo had him on a strict contract or something, you know? Like, Zot was a fine villain. I like how he had this cool, composed, like, character as you met him, even in the few courses of, say, like, 1 or 2 times you saw him. And then he just absolutely loses his mind whenever he ditches Ganon, or Ganon ditches him, rather, in the Palace of Twilight, and you see just the kind of character he really is. It's almost like a Phoenix Wright attorney breakdown when you think about it. You know, when a witness goes up on there, you get onto them and they break down on the stand. I think I have a friend who just arrived. Probably check that out once we get here. But Ganon, I just don't feel like he fits his role in Twilight Princess too well, other than being the puppeteer, really. I mean, never once did he really have any real hatred towards Link, you know? You figure that you run into the person, well, the descendant of the person who locked you away for centuries, and you'd have this bloodthirsty hate for this hero. And the only person he directs that anger towards, or really has any real conversation towards, not really anger, is Midna. Because of that, you know, he doesn't really have any real need to be here other than, haha, Nintendo's gotta have Ganon in here because it's a Zelda game, and he's bad to steal the Triforce again. I bet all the Ocarina of Time nerds would probably know that. He doesn't have a real motive, you know? Ganon's just not really expanded upon. I missed what they did with, say, like, Wind Waker Ganon, when he had this, like, attachment to the past. He couldn't let go of Hyrule, and he was so obsessed with claiming it back, even though it was long gone. But yeah, that pretty much is my main argument against Ganon. I'm not too fond of Ganon in this game, even though I do like his character design. His character design looks pretty cool. But, anywho, Twilight Princess is done. I don't know when the Cave of Ordeals will happen, if I ever do redo them, but, thank you guys for watching my entire Let's Play up until this point. I'm sorry for all the delays, but we're done. And, see you guys in whatever I do next. And hopefully I don't delay it as many times as this one. Bye!